Well, hello, and welcome to Stop, Let's Team Up, episode 80, Scooby-Doo and the Justice Society of America. Exciting for me. I've had this comic for years. I hadn't read it. So we're going to be covering that in a few seconds. I just wanted to say, hey, it's been over a week since we posted an episode because last weekend me and Kirby went to GalaxyCon, and next time I have Kirby on, we're going to talk about that. But that's why we've been gone. And then I took the week off. Work's getting kind of special, as I always say almost every damn episode. So it's Saturday the 22nd, I'm assuming. 23rd. Ooh, it's been 9 days since I even posted an episode, let alone recorded one. So we're going to play a little catch-up this weekend. Today, my wife is up in D.C. helping somebody, so I'm going to be recording a bunch of episodes, starting with this one, then the next Starman, and probably the Legion, and then planning next weekend. So I'm going to try to get back on track, try to get some episodes built up so I can be a little more regular. So, that being said, let's get started with this wacky comic. Okay, I am using the Scooby-Topia. Is it Scooby-Topia? The Scoobypedia wiki for my information for this issue, because the DC fandom one is one. But this is a DC comic, and it was published in 2018. There was a little pause there where I had to stop recording because I realized that the information I want to give you was not on the Scoobypedia wiki page, so I had to go to the DC one. So this is Scooby-Doo Team Up, issue number 39. It was cover dated August 2018 and published on January 27th, 2018. It has a cover by Dario Rizzula and Franco Riso. They are the interior artist and colorist as well. It is written by Charlie Fish. Again, pencil and inked by Dario Rizzula, colorist Franco Risco, letterer Saida Temfonte, Ross learned to read. Editors Christy Quinn. And the issue of this little story is called Victory Through Scare Power. So I have the comic, and it's also in the digital format, which is cool. All the Scooby-Doo comics are on there. This is the first one I've really read, and I enjoyed it. I am a big proponent that we need more kids' comics. We do not have that gateway that, say, my brother did, because even in my generation, I guess my generation is maybe the last, or to where you could get them at a 7-Eleven, and a little kid would get one, mom, dad would buy you one, and you would get hooked. That's not how people learn about comics. Dads have to teach their kids about comics, which is cool. I had an older brother who taught me about comics, and I appreciate that. My nerdiness is the best gift my big brother Huey ever gave me, and I love him to death for it. You know, I just do. I appreciate it. Pop culture and comics and Doctor Who and Star Trek and Godzilla and Westerns, all that shaped who I am, and it gives me joy to this day. And it's been 55 years pretty much since he gave me my first comic. And I think there need to be more comics like this. I think comics need to be in polybags in Target or Walmart. Do comics about the characters that kids know now. You know, the ones that Marvel would do a kids version, and then they will graduate as they get older. I want to read something a little more for me. And if their dad's a comic fan, hey, you're old enough for this now. I wouldn't give a modern Batman comic to a 5-year-old to get him started on comics. It's not appropriate. It's not age appropriate. But this stuff is, and it's great. And it would introduce him to the Justice Society of America. It makes it even better. There is no synopsis in either wiki. So I'm just kind of going to go through the story a little bit page by page as I lazily do. But I just want to get a little information on the artist to you because I think it's important. So the artist of this book is someone I'd never heard of, and his name is, hope I'm he's Argentinian. His name is I'm guessing pronouncing. Don't My Spanish is non-existent. I know a few key words, and I took enough Spanish in high school that I can pronounce some things okay, others I am absolutely useless at. So it's Dario Brizuela. He has done a lot of comics. But they're all for kids, and I like that. It even says on his web page, it says, "Welcome, I'm Dario Brizuela, artist of comics, cartoons, and the box art that some of your kids came in." Oh, Kids' Choice came in. Oh, so he does the box. Oh, that's cool. You can see examples of my work here, as well as sneak peeks of what I'm working on next. If you'd like to hire me to draw something for you, send me an email, Dario Brizuela. And he's written for Capstone Publishing, who I'm not familiar with, DC, Fisher-Price, Imaginext, that's one company, Marvel, Hasbro, did some Transformers, IDW, Lego, sketches, videos, everything. And I wanted to comment on his art first. The cover's great. It is the Justice Society of America sitting around a table, a la All-Star Comics 3. This time that is Wildcat, Black Canary, Green Lantern, Scooby-Doo, Sandman, Dr. Midnight, Dr. Fate, and behind them are Fred, Daphne, Shaggy, and the amazing Velma. And it's a nice little cover. He draws he's drawing it so it looks like you could have seen it on the screen in some ways. His character captures of the Scooby Gang is spot on and wonderful. I mean, it's good, but it's a very basic comic style. It's kind of a hybrid of modern, I think, digital illustrating in some ways, because it looks very like it was done digitally. It looks very digital. It's just very, very clean. It's very simple, very clean, very colorful. I want to compliment the colorist, Dario. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. I'm such a dumbass. Because the colors are nice. It's not 3-color like in the old days. You can see the colorist is Franco Rischio, and the colors are nice. It's kind of what I think a Silver Age or a Bronze Age comic would have looked like if they had a broader palette, even though it's not more colorful. It just looks really good. It's very clean, but it looks very digital to me. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean kind of like how the technology's changed. So it starts with, it's called The Victory Through Scare Power. And it starts with, I don't know why the policeman is announcing this, but he says, "Found this antique box underground during our recent renovation here on the grounds of the Lincoln Memorial. The box and its contents have remained sealed and buried for decades, or perhaps even longer. The message on its lid makes it clear that the time box was intended as a time capsule, preserving its treasures for a future generation. Today, those treasures will be revealed as the box is finally opened." And Velma's like, I'm not into a Velma imitation, but Velma says, "Isn't this exciting? Anything could be inside." And Scooby goes, "Ruh-roh." Well, no, he says, "That's what worries me. That's what worries me." I used to be able to do a Scooby thing. Maybe it was when I was smoking. It made it easier. And then Shaggy goes, "You got it, old buddy. Like, why are we always the only ones who think that opening really old boxes that say do not open is a bad idea?" So the police officer opens a box, and these demon gargoyles come out. And that's when Shaggy says, "And why do we always have to be right about these things?" So these demons are flying, and one of them actually says, "At last we can complete our mission to destroy the Washington Monument." And Daphne tries to grab him, and she can't. And then Dr. Fate appears, and he says, "Mortals cannot grab evil spirits, Daphne. If you wish to learn how to defeat them, you must come with me." To which Scooby replies, "Dr. Fate." So he just basically tells him, "I need to take you back in time." And because they've met before, they teamed up in Scooby Team Up 19. That's a neat. These Scooby Team Up comics have some really good combos, and I'm gonna go back and read some of these. And do not be surprised when I do another one of these. I've already picked out the next one, which will be Batman 66 and the Legion of Superheroes. And I'm hoping to get a guest on that. I'm going to find someone to do that with me. So they're taken back in time, and the Justice Society's sitting around their table. Roll call is Flash, Green Lantern, Atom, Dr. Midnight, Black Canary, 1, Wildcat, Johnny Thunder, Sandman, and Wonder Woman. And Fred's like, the Justice Society were legends, the world's first superhero team. Their time was like a golden age. And Sandman goes, why'd you bring these kids here, Dr. Fate? Are they new members of our Junior Justice Society fan club? And Daphne explains it from future. And they turned around and Vandal Savage just walked into the Justice Society's headquarters unopposed. And he's standing there in his classic Silver Age costume. He's got a Nazi armband on. And he has the box. And Wonder Woman's Vandal Savage, the immortal villain. And he opens the box and all the monsters escape. And while they're all chatting about... instead of fighting him, Adam wants to punch Vandal Savage. Green Lantern says, no time for that now. Adam, the evil spirits are on the move. So they all head off with Flash yelling, okay, kids, then come on for America and democracy. And then we go into my favorite part of, say, a Silver Age or a team up or a Justice League issue or a Justice Society issue later on in the All-Star, which is when the team split up. And the pairings in this I like a great deal. So first pairing is Wildcat, Wonder Woman, and Daphne. Where they're flying the invisible jet to save a experimental aircraft. Daphne comments on how finds out that Wonder Woman at this point is over 2,800 years because she was there because she knows what the box is. The box is Pandora's box. I got a little sidetracked, so let's go back to that. It's Pandora's box. Daphne's like, you were there? That had to have been 3,000 years ago. And Wonder Woman goes, closer to 2,800. And Daphne's, but you look so young. In fact, I'm surprised to see you in this time period, Princess Diana. Diana? Oh no, that's my daughter. She's far too young for such adventures. I am Hippolyta Themyscira, Queen of the Amazons. And Wildcat adds, and at our meetings, okay, this wouldn't be a regular Ted Grant, which would be, and at all meetings, I can't, never mind, that just came out English and not Brooklyn-y. But Ted goes, in our meetings, she's also our Justice Society's secretary, which Daphne goes, what? Wonder Woman, a queen and one of the strongest superheroes on Earth, and she's your secretary? And Wildcat goes, well, she has the best handwriting. And Wonder Woman goes, actually, I came to man's world knowing that attitudes were rather quaint, Daphne, and part of my mission is to change that. But at the moment, more important, we must rescue that aircraft. And there are two Nazis dressed as mechanics, which wrenches, talking openly about how they sabotaged the plane. So, of course, our heroes know who it is. Daphne and Wildcat jump out of the invisible plane, take care of them, while Wonder Woman straddles the experimental plane using her lasso to hold the wings on and battle a demon. And the demon shoots at her with magical bolts, but she uses her bracelets, which makes him go, whoops, can't flee. They save the plane. So next on to our next grouping, which is the Atom, Green Lantern, and Fred. The least interesting of the Scooby Gang to me, and he's only interesting because I wonder why is a guy from the late 60s wearing a cravat. It's Fred is always his attire. Even when I was a kid, was like, why is he looks, I don't know. He's a silly looking character. But this is great. They're at a war bond sale, and the demon's trying to burn the money, but Green Lantern puts it out. But then the Nazis just come and pick up the pile of money, or bonds. I guess it looks like bonds in one thing, and then it looks like money in another. But Fred and the Atom take care of it very quickly. Where Green Lantern tries to stop the demon, but one of the Nazis hits him with a baseball bat, and Fred is confused. And when he's told that that's Green Lantern's weakness, that's a lot more inconvenient than kryptonite. But they chase off their demon and capture a Nazi. who gives it up very quickly because when the Atom picks him up off the ground or grabs him by the neck, is I bet one of these spies can tell us where the spirit's going. Would you like me to write down the address? So, on to our third group, Dr. Fate, Dr. Midnight, and Velma. This is basically a big team. Okay, there is a little white racist, little Aryan blonde boy, telling everybody that, look around. Yourselves, American children. See the one who look, act, or believe differently than you? They are running America. We must imprison those who are different in ghettos and camps so they cannot pollute our country. And all the white kids in the gang turn on the brown kid. Imagine that. And it kind of freaks out Velma, and she goes, Jinxies, you don't believe that nonsense? Let's just settle down. Everybody, oops, and she loses her glasses, and Dr. Midnight picks them up. You dropped your glasses, Velma. Thanks, Dr. Midnight. I can't see anything without my glasses. I can emphasize. And then he throws a blackout bomb, and Dr. Fate captures a demon, shows it to the kid, and then explains it to them that, this is what's, the demon's making you, they want to make you hate each other, and don't do that. So he magically gives them all Junior Justice League of America badges. I want one. And when Velma grabs a little Nazi kid, she pulls off his jacket, and he is wearing a Nazi armband, and he's like 8. And then they're off. They're done. The next grouping is the Sandman, the Flash, and Scooby-Doo. Scooby and Sandman have a lot to do together. They're at a scrapyard, and they're battling Nazis who are stealing the metals they need for the war effort by hand. It's kind of silly. And Scooby accidentally go while chasing. Sandman shoots his gas gun, and Scooby runs right into it and passes out, which causes the Nazis who are afraid of Sandman to run and trip and knock down a pile of crushed cars, and the Flash has to rescue his teammates. And then the demon goes away. Oop, I'm sorry. There is a 5th one. I can't count. And the last grouping is Johnny Thunder, Black Canary, and Shaggy. And Ma Hunkle, the original Red Tornado. So she's working riveting a ship. And when she sees the Justice Society members running, Johnny, being an idiot, is, well, why are women working on the ships? And where Black Canary goes, Johnny, lots of women work in the defense jobs these days. All the women, including the 2 saboteurs who are punching holes in the boat, are dressed like Rosie the Riveter. Look it up, kids, if you don't know. And there's a little battle, and Red Tornado has joined them, and the demon's going to the ship, and Scooby goes, use your sonic cry, your canary cry, and Black Widow's like, Black Widow, geez, Ross. Black Canary goes, my what? And this is where Shaggy realizes, oh, that's your daughter. You don't have this power. And at that point, Johnny sends Thunderbolt to kick the demon in the butt, and then give them a lift to where they all go back to Washington, D.C. And they and the demons they were fighting the demons fly to the Washington Monument, and Vandal Savage goes, I'll just give you this whole, the battle has not ended yet, heroes. You are just in time to witness my greatest triumph. As my spirits demolish the Washington Monument along with the tourists inside, and my saboteurs plant explosives to destroy the Capitol building and the entire U.S. Congress. And the Sandman goes, up and at 'em, heroes. It's all up to us. And Black Canary goes, in it always. So some of the heroes go to protect the monument, and the rest go to protect the Capitol. But the Scooby Gang goes, remember where Pandora Box was found in our time? It wasn't at the Washington Monument or the Capitol building. Savage must have sent the JSA to places to distract them and pull away from the building. That's in the opposite direction, the Lincoln Memorial. So the Scooby Gang gets there, and Vandal Savage has a jackhammer, and he's about to destroy the head of Lincoln on the Lincoln Memorial. He's like, but no, he's going to change it, and we see what his thought is. He's going to change the head to make it look like him. And, of course, he says, no bunch of meddling kids can stop me. Which Velma does by opening a box, because he opened it and used the power of evil. She is going to open the box and use the power of hope, which draws all the demons back into it. And that's when the Justice Society return. Flash gets the box. The heroes capture him. The Atom uses his atomic strength. Okay, he has. Okay, I guess later versions he has some extra. He carves in "Do Not Enter." The Thunderbolt buries it. Doc Fate sends the kids back, and the box is there. And they use the box at Hope again to bring the demons back into the box. And then Shaggy thinks of something. Why don't we super glue it shut? That took me 20 minutes to go through that comic, so it went very detailed. I'm sorry. I hope that was not too terribly boring. It's a fun comic. It was really fun. It's a great kids comic. I enjoyed it. It's almost 60 years old. I just enjoyed it. It was simple. It was to the point. A little hokey. But I could give that to a little kid and maybe get them to like comic books. Get them to like the Justice Society of America, which would be a great thing. But I think it's great. I had a good time. I hope you did too. I'd like to know what you guys think of these comics. Have you read any? I would only get them when it was... I got the Bugs Bunny Legion. I've got the Batman 66 Legion. And I've got this one. I think I'm going to hunt. These are something that maybe I wouldn't mind the trade. I also was just on the app and saw that Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis and Howard Porter did the Scooby Apocalypse, which I looked at the first couple issues, and those Hanna-Barbera, more adult-themed books I've heard really good things about, and I just haven't read any of them. I would read that one. I think I'll read their Justice League 3000 and 3001 before it, because that seems more in my wheelhouse. But it's interesting. So I'm glad I enjoyed it. And it was a neat way to kind of... I hadn't recorded in a few days, in 10 days or so, and I really had wanted to, but just getting home from work and I had things to do, just didn't get to it. And I wanted to not do something super serious. I don't have a guest lined up, so I thought I'd just, while I was going through pulling some comics to sell and get some stuff, I found this comic, and I said, it's my next episode, got to do it. So I'll be back on Tuesday with the next Starman episode, which is the 2 issues of the Starman Volume 1 with Will Payton, where he meets David Knight and the villain Nimbus, which is I'm going to record today, which was fun to do. I'm getting near. I'm at the very end of the Roger Stern era. I've got one more issue, and I'm a little nervous. I don't know the next creator that well, so I don't know what to expect, which is good because I haven't read the series, but I'm going to be sad to see Roger Stern go because I've really enjoyed that Starman. So you'll get to hear that on Tuesday, and hopefully on Thursday there will be a Legion, and then next weekend I will have another episode because I'm going to make sure that I get this one out and then the 3 for next week out. All right, folks, as always, thank you for listening. I'd love to get some feedback. I am on Twitter. I am on Instagram. I am on Mastodon. I am on Facebook. Please reach out, comment. I'm getting some more comments on what I'm reading on Blue Sky. I really like Blue Sky. I don't communicate always because the level of social media that goes into the debates and arguments, I'm very just cautious with what I say. It is triggering to me sometimes. And I just avoid it. So I normally just share what I'm doing or whine about something. I hate to say that, but that's true. But check us out there. I look forward to hearing from you. Also, be safe. Be smart. Be kind to one another and read some comics. All right? Or watch some Scooby-Doo.